We got a question, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. It was off the back of our discussion about the question from LeBron James. Could you guard prime LeBron James?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because we have some people that feel that they can do it.
Which is insanity, but carry on.
And someone asked us a question to tell people the reality of how difficult it is to be a professional footballer, and the people that speak on it and think, the keyboard warriors that say, we could do it. That's basically what they've asked us.
Okay, well, I'm going to look dead in the lens of the camera here when I tell you, none of you that have never played a professional game are anywhere close to doing it in the lower leagues and non-league, let alone doing it in the Prem. When I say that hours put in and grind, like non-league players probably put in, they probably put in the hours, but they just don't have it. Like there's a certain God-given talent you need to take you to that next step, because a lot of people work hard for this dream and don't get flipping close. And when I say the disrespect, and I hear a lot of boys say this as well, and they're like, football's fell off, etc. It's not where it used to be. It's because the law of averages, everyone is so much better now than they were back in the day, to the point where non-league players now could probably be, I'm talking about 20, 30 years ago,
they're playing the higher divisions.
In the higher divisions.
Yeah.
Because everyone's like scary athletes now, the technical level, the lot. Like if you watch teams like Worthing and that, Worthing,
footballing wise, one of the best teams
you'll ever see. Like everyone could play football now. So I say it's not just kick it long, whatever. You have to have a certain standard. Like it's not just head it, kick it anymore. The game understanding, the amount of games improved. You're so far off, you don't understand.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that speak on the keyboard, and there's a lot of people with huge Twitter accounts and etc. And they're talking about players that play for the Prem and how much money they're on, etc. You don't play that level by accident.
Yeah, they don't understand how much goes into it.
You don't play it. If you try to run at a Premier League footballer at full speed, and it could be any. I'm talking about any Premier League footballer.
The worst Prem
player you can think of, and you try to run him at full speed, you think you're going to nick the ball with him or whatever, you've lost your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Your brain doesn't work nowhere near as fast as these individuals.
Let's put it like this. We've never played in the Prem, but we could tell you kind of what's going to go on the football pitch miles before. You do.
We see a picture that you lot...
Yeah.
This ain't being disrespectful, but we see a picture of the game that you lot don't see from a mile off.
Yeah. So when we watch,
we don't watch football the same.
Yeah,
I'd say that's
exactly
free.
it. When I'm watching football, I'm looking at the next kind of free passes I can see, and instead of looking at you're watching the ball most of the time. I don't also like watching football from a level of, if I'm watching the game, I don't like watching football in the stadium at that ground level because I can't see anything.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? I like watching it from up at level because I can see what's going on, the transition. And you know how what we do in football? We play passes one or two times to see, okay, cool, what are they reacting off? What are they reacting off? And as you've seen they've reacted of it twice, okay, cool, the next pass is going to be completely different and it's going to go to a certain place. We also, in football, this is what people don't tell you about certain things. We can play football silently. When you're good enough, this happens in the Premier a lot. You play football silently, and the pass will tell you everything you need to know
and do.
Yeah, so like the way we play a certain pass will tell you where to go. Like to that point, there's so many details. We'll put passes in areas where only you can get it. So like that's the level that we're talking about. You guys think, he's just passed the ball 5 yards. No, there's so much detail to what that 5-yard pass is. When you see Man City,
you don't understand how important a yard and a half of a step can be to everything else on a football pitch.
Yep. Forcing someone's body to go this way.
Yeah.
This much. As much as I just move from in the camera, this much can change everything.
As much as like you don't probably watch analysis and you watch like Rio Ferdinand, Micah Richards and all them, and they are great pundits. Like every single one of them are great pundits. But there's only so much they can give you in that period of time, you know. That they're probably seeing so much more what's going on. But there's only so much they can give you, and you all take that and you hear them things and you run with it. I've seen people give analysis and breakdown on football that have these big accounts, and they're saying footballers are rubbish, etc. And they're saying these footballers ain't good, etc. And blah blah, he's doing this and he's doing that. And I could say for free, if I was to give them a ball right now,
what could they do with it?
And I put them in, it's a terrible situation where it's like, okay, is it a channel ball? You're playing a pass or you're playing it to spin them? They wouldn't know what to do with it.
100%.
Or is there the pass inside and the way you're passing it and what foot you pass it to him to make a decision where he's going to go? You wouldn't know. Those small details is what I grew up learning. They are thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of hours learning throughout your life.
Bro, this is stuff, because we learned it when we were 7, 8 in academies. Yeah. It's second nature to us to do now. But if you don't learn it then, like I receive passes from people still to this day, and I look at them like, bro, why did you pass me the ball like
exactly
that? And this is professional football players. But it's because they haven't grown up in a certain way or they haven't developed their skill. They're just thinking a pass is a pass.
And these are miles. I'm talking about miles better than you lot.
Miles? These men will never get on these guys at passable badly's level.
and I can't talk to everyone, blah, 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 but I'm talking about the people. And if you know you're not like this won't resonate to you, but I'm talking to the people here where they slate these players constantly. Now, don't get me wrong, we all support teams and are passionate, etc. But you're out here calling footballers rubbish, etc. Like you genuinely have no right. Yeah, you pay your money, but you have no right to call people rubbish, because if you was to go up against these people, they would skin you like that. They would twist your blood. So this is what I'm trying to tell you, like.
They, like honestly, we can go goals with you guys and play at 5% and look like the best player in the world to you.
Exactly.
That's kind of the difference on footballing level throughout. Because even people ask the question, how many goals do you think you score if you played 38 games in the Premier League? You were a starting striker at 90 minutes all the time. Random people, just random. Let me tell you, the answer is 0. Maybe 1 because it might bounce in off your knee. But you versus a Premier, but you versus a Premier League defender.
You lost your
How
mind.
you are now, there's no chance. I'll be so honest, and I'm talking about people.
I'll give you 2 years to get fit, and I get you still won't score.
How long do you think a normal average person would last in a Premier League game?
What?
Let me not even say in the Premier League. How long do you think a normal average person would last in a National League game?
If they get to half time, they've done incredibly well.
I don't think they last in 15 minutes.
They'll be blowing out your freaking lungs, blood.
Like average person, you pull them off the street. You know the keyboard warrior. Okay, cool. Come play this game. How long do you think they're lasting? They go goals. But they go goals.
Yeah. You wouldn't last. You'd be lucky if you get to half time. I give you a standing ovation.
Yeah, I think you get dragged after 15. Yeah, just pure.
Because you try to do 2 runs in the channel and you see how your lungs feel.
Yep. No, but I think they get dragged just for pure. You're messing up the team.
Yeah,
for awareness and that sort of stuff.
You don't know the movements. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know the speed that this is going at and how quick you got to move and situation and moving across the pitch and all that stuff. You don't see that. What you see is just footballers doing it. So it's like robotic to you. So you think, okay, this is what's going on.
Off the ball, they don't see anything off the ball.
You don't see that stuff.
Off the ball counts so much as a person that's on the ball, bro. Like to know where to go, to know where you need to be, your body position, your shape, like
exactly.
Everything matters. To know where other people are, like there's so many different things on a football pitch you need to be aware of that people don't understand, and the people that just watching the game.
There's so many images, like your peripheral vision is your key. Like you don't see things like when you're on there. Like you probably don't see how a centre midfielder could affect a centre half, because he could be just thinking about the run. So he's taking him and the concentration brings the striker forward to the front post. Yep. And now you got the winger coming in behind him. Like there's so much in movements of why the goalkeeper's hair and stuff like that. There's so much to the game of football.
How a yard makes a difference for an angle for a pass from the centre back to the midfielder. Literally a step right, a step left can shut it off. Bro, body position stops you from doing a lot of things. But these are small things, the small details that no one really looks into when they're watching the game of football. But when you know the game of football, you're like, okay, cool. Look at his positioning. Look how many times he checked his shoulder. There was one time when we were young, probably about 13, we watched a video of Frank Lampard.
Yeah.
I don't know who he was playing against. You know, they used to have that player cam on Sky Sports. Yeah. And we watched the video of Frank Lampard, and he checked his shoulder 28 times before he got the ball to play a one-touch pass back to where it came.
From. Yeah.
But that he checked, this is what I'm saying, he checked his shoulder, he was scanning consistently. And when you guys go goals, like the average person, do you even look, do you even check your shoulder once? Like that isn't, how you check your mirrors in your car is a normal thing for us to do on a football pitch. Checking our shoulder, looking.
I don't think people realise how hard a skill checking your shoulder is.
This is the thing though.
Because your brain has thinking all the time, like the ball could come any time. So you're constantly checking your shoulder. I don't think people realise how hard a skill it is.
Because it's me especially when I'm playing 10 all the time, I have to know what the hell's behind me because I really need to know my next pass because someone's always going to be, this is the thing. But they don't get the fact that, checking your shoulder and waiting for the ball that's coming here. So you have to know where that ball is, but you know where that man is.
Your touch has got to be right, all in a space of 2 seconds, maybe.
And you don't even, on a football pitch, you don't have the ball for longer than, what they say, like a 90-second to 2 minute period, the whole game.
Yeah.
And that's your impact on the whole game. And you're calling people rubbish that touch the ball for 2 minutes and 90 minutes. Max. And if you're playing against Man City, 12 seconds.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So that's the one thing I feel like people need to understand how detailed the game of football actually is when you get down to the nitty-gritty. It's not just a kid's game.
And
that
I generally, I think I've maybe earned the right to call some people arse. But I don't even call people rubbish now.
Yeah. Because you realise what goes into it.
Of course.
And we've all done... How many hours do you think we've done our 10,000?
I've done my 10,000.
Yeah, I think we've done our 10,000 when we were in our 18s.
Honestly.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one thing that's interesting because obviously people think they can beat LeBron, but you couldn't beat the last person on the NBA bench.
It's a fact.
You can beat the last person on the EuroLeague bench.
You haven't even got the skill to give yourself a yard of space, and you're talking about you'd be able to think.
I don't think people understand. Professionals at sports play the sport even on the days where we do not want to go and play the sport.
Exactly.
That's what you're up against. People that do not want to do this today, but do it. Mm-hmm. And you think you're going to beat someone in that? Near enough impossible.
Yeah, it's insanity.
Near enough impossible.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's a crazy, crazy, crazy one.